Hello students, today let's discuss some MCQs problems on AC circuits that we have revised in last classes. So let's see now one by one some questions as today your RT5 is going to be held on. So let's discuss here. The first question here, this is the average value of current over a complete cycle is. So here as AC current we are talking for, so it means what will be the average value of AC over a complete cycle. So if you will see AC current, then as AC current that is varying with time alternately, means over a complete cycle it has one positive half cycle and it has one negative half cycle. So if you will start to calculate its average value, then positive half cycle, its magnitude will be cancelled by the magnitude of negative half cycle, and overall the average we will get, that will be 0. So this is our answer for this question. Alternating current over the complete cycle, its average value will be always 0. Now let's see the second one. Power factor of an AC circuit is a measure of. Options are given: first, virtual power; second, power lost in the circuit; third, mean power; and fourth option is all of the above. So as you know, the power factor that is coming into the context with the help of average power lost in the circuit. So average power lost in the circuit, that is given by IRMS into PRMS into cos of phi. So here phi is what? Phi is the phase between current and alternating current and alternating potential. ERMS, IRMS, you know, this is the RMS values of current and potential, and this is the average power consumption in our circuitry. So if you will see, as these two factors will be constant, and this factor is varying for different kinds of AC circuits, like in the case of pure resistive it is 0. So for that case we will get cos phi, this is equal to 1 for resistive circuit. For capacitive and inductive circuit, as you know, the phase difference between potential and current, that is pi by 2. In one current is lagging, in one current is leading, but phase is pi by 2, so cos pi by 2 it will be 0. So this is for L and C. So in L and C you can see this cos pi, it has different values. So it means the power consumption that will be different due to this factor. So this factor is known as power factor. So here it is asked, what is this power factor is measuring what? So it is measuring power lost in the circuit, because here we are talking for power consumption in the circuit, not virtual power, mean power. So this will not be the answer. Next question. The dimensional formula of L by R is similar of. So let's see now what is L by R. So you can also calculate its dimensional formula with the help of the dimension of inductance, dimension of resistance, and if you will solve, then you will find out this is the dimension of time. Why? Actually these are known as the time constants for different AC circuits. Means AC that is varying with time, that will have some of the time constant, that is denoting at a particular time how much percentage of current is decaying, or that is the device is charging by that current. So we can just find out by using this time constant easily. So for LR circuit, the time constant is given by L by R. For LC circuit, the time constant is given by root of LC. For RC circuit, it is given by R in RC. So these are all the time constant. They all will have the dimension of time. So this, it means that they all have the dimension of time. So these factors you have to keep in your mind. Next question. Which of the following has dimensions different from the rest? So here question options you will see, and as just now I have told you, you can differentiate the answers now. Questions is we have to find out the quantity which has different dimensions. So quantities are L by R, 1 upon RC. So L by R, 1 upon RC. Third is root of LC. and fourth one is RC. So just now I have told you these three are time constants, so they will have the same dimension, but this is now the dimension of frequency, not time, because it is reciprocal of this one, and you know the reciprocal of time is frequency. So that's why it will have dimension of frequency. This is now different quantity 1 by RCDR. The next one, energy dissipates in LCR circuit in first option L only, second option C only, third option R only, fourth option all of the above. So as you know, if you will see, energy dissipation means power consumption in our circuitry. So for power consumption, just now I have told you P average, that is equal to IRMS, ERMS into cos of phi. So cos phi is different for different kinds of circuit, like for pure R, pure resistor, it has the value that phi is 0, so it has value 1. So it will be average power will have always some of the value that will be non-zero values here. For the L and C, as you have seen cos phi, that is 0. So if it will be 0, then average power consumed in the circuit, that will be also 0. So it means power will not dissipate in LCR circuit through L and C, because here the power consumption is 0. No of the power will be lost here. But in resistor, as this has non-zero value, so some of the power will always be lost here. So it means that in our answer is for energy dissipates in LCR circuit in R only, not in any other factor. Now next question, here it is given, what is the ratio of inductive and capacitive reactance of in AC circuits? So let's see now, inductive and capacitive reactances. So inductive reactance is denoted by Chi L, capacitive reactance is denoted by Chi C. We have to find out their ratio. So as you know, inductive reactance is equal to omega L, capacitive reactance is 1 upon omega C. Overall, if you will solve, this is equal to omega square LC. This is our ratio. Now the next one, an acceptor circuit is, options are given, series resonant circuit, parallel resonant circuit, LCR circuit, none of these. So let's see now which of the option is correct here. So as you know, the series LCR circuit that has a different property. Whenever certain frequency will be reached, that is called resonant frequency. Means at that frequency, if you will see the two factors, the reactive, inductive reactance and capacitive reactance, they becomes equal. Whenever they becomes equal, then you know that the impedance of LCR circuit, series LCR, I am talking for that one, it is given by R square plus Chi L, difference of Chi C whole square. So this difference will become 0 now. So this impedance will be that time equal to R, and this will be minimum impedance, and that time the current in the circuit, this will be maximum current at this particular condition. And for this particular condition, if you will write down their values and you will solve, then you will obtain the frequency here. This is by this value. This for a particular value of frequency, we are obtaining a particular situation in series LCR, and at which the impedance in circuit becomes minimum, current in circuit becomes maximum. So it means that it is selecting a particular frequency for varying the current in series LCR for maximum current distribution, maximum current passing through its circuitry. So that's why it has tendency to accept this frequency. Now the next question is related to this one, that is the parallel resonant circuit is behaving as. So if you will see the concept for the parallel resonant circuit, then that circuit has tendency to reject one particular frequency, because this condition will be just opposite in parallel LCR circuit. For parallel LCR, where here impedance is going to be minimum in series, but in parallel it will be maximum, and for that one current that is flowing through parallel LCR, that will become minimum. So the circuit will not choose such kind of frequency for which the current in the circuitry will become minimum. So it is rejecting that frequency. So that circuit, parallel resonance circuit, is known as rejector circuit, and series resonance circuit is known as acceptor circuit. Now let's see the next question. So the next one is a broadcast circuit broadcast at 300 meter band. A condenser of capacitance 2.41 microfarad is available. So the value of inductance required for resonant circuit. So it is given that we have a broadcast station that is broadcasting some of the signal that has wavelength 300 meter. 300 meter band means its wavelength is given to you. So first what you can do, you can calculate frequency of signal or frequency of the wave that is carrying the signal. So that is frequency, you know, this is given by f is equal to c by lambda. Whereas in broadcasting we are using electromagnetic waves, so we can use the light velocity of light here. So velocity of light, this is now 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and it is given the lambda, that is 300. So from here you can calculate the value that has now the value of frequency is 10 to the power 6 hertz. So on this frequency we are doing now broadcasting. Let's see our next here term. So next term is given a condenser of capacitance 2.41 microfarad. So capacity of condenser is given now 2.41 microfarad. We have to find out the value of inductance for resonance condition. So as you know, for resonance condition, a particular situation we have the frequency of circuitry at resonance, that is given by f is equal to 1 upon 2 pi root of LC. Now we can use this one and we can find out the value of L. So this is now, this can be written as 1 upon 4 pi square f square into c from here. And now you can use all these values, and if you will solve, then its order is really obtained as 10 to the power minus 8 Henry. So this is the answer for our question now. Now let's see the next one. Next is in series resonant circuit. First option is given, reactance is 0, second current is 0, third voltage is 0, fourth none of these. So as you know, in series resonance circuitry always we are finding some of the reactance, means if we have used L, C and R, then all that circuits, whether chi L is equal to chi C, but they have always a value, they are not 0. So reactances cannot be 0 here, as reactances are not 0 and we are applying some of the AC signal, then potential cannot be 0 as well as current cannot be 0. So it means that all these three values are not 0, so none of these options are option is correct here. So the next one, let's see. Next question is transformer works on the principle of options are given, converter, inverter, mutual induction, self induction. So as you know, in transformer, as we are using two coil, primary, secondary, they are kept near to each other. So whenever we are using two coil, in one coil flux is changing and in another one automatically some of the induced EMF is generating, and that is called mutual induction. So this is the you can say transformer is based on the principle of mutual induction. Now the next one, which of the following effect is not shown in alternating current? Options are given, chemical effect, second magnetic effect, third heating effect, fourth all of these. So here as you see, in the case of alternating current, if you will alternating current are always affected by magnetic field. Reason, alternating current are produced by electromagnetic induction process. So in electromagnetic induction process, whenever there is change in flux, then that time there will be the production of induced EMF, and in some coil if resistance is present, there will be some induced current. So that flux that is changing, if we are changing magnetic field, then due to that flux will change. Obviously the production of induced EMF and current will vary due to the change in flux. So it is depending on magnetic effect. Second one, or you can say it is showing the magnetic effect. And another word if you want to understand means like we have understood before this one, magnetic effect of current. So whenever current is moving in some coil, then that time it is producing magnetic field. So this is also true for AC circuitry, as in the chapter 7 we have discussed it by modified Maxwell's equation. He has modified Ampere's law, he has shown us, and by mathematical derivations that alternating current can also produce magnetic field. So yes, magnetic effect we are obtaining by alternating current. Next effect is given heating effect. So whenever the current will flow through any coil, that will also produce heating effect in coil. So that's why heating effect is also produced in the forms of eddy currents. So here heating effects we are also getting in the case of AC circuitry, and also you know even AC ammeter voltmeter that are based on the hot wire or heating effect produced by the alternating signals. The third effect is chemical effect. So whenever AC is moving, that is not producing any kind of chemical change. It is whole of the physical effect, not the chemical effect. So this option is correct for our question. So means alternating current is not showing chemical effect. Now let's see the next one. Next question is, an AC ammeter connected in series in an AC circuit reads 5 ampere. So the peak value of current is. So it is given, we have a series AC ammeter that is connected in series with an AC circuit, and this is now reading 5 ampere. So as you know, AC ammeters that are work on hot wire instrument procedure, and for hot wire instruments they are using heating energy produced by alternating current, and you know the heat produced, that is depending on RMS value of the current here. So it means that our ammeter that has read the values that has been just read RMS value of current. We have to find out peak value. So we know RMS value is related to the peak value of current by the formula I0 by root 2, where I0 is peak value. So from here you can calculate the peak value. This will be 5 root 2 ampere. So this is answer for our question. Now the next one, the phase difference between the AC and EMF is pi by 2. Which of the following cannot be the constraint of the circuit? So here it is given already, the alternating current and potential has phase difference of pi by 2. So in which circuit it cannot be possible. So first circuit is given LC, second is L alone, third is C alone, fourth one is RL circuit. So let's see now, this is now RL, this is LC, this is L only, not R, L only, C only. So these are options given. Now we can understand whether the final current and potential will have the phase difference of pi by 2 in which of the circuitry by using phasor diagram. So let's start to draw the phasor diagram for first one, RL circuit. If we will draw the phasor diagram for this, as we know in the resistor, the current and potential both are in same phase. So if we are just denoting this by this direction, the potential VR, that is potential drop across resistor, and the current that is flowing through resistor is I. They both have same direction. And in inductor circuit, you will see that is current is all lagging behind the potential by pi by 2. So it means here potential will lead the current, and this is now VL, direction of VL, and VL is potential drop across inductance. So this is now the direction. Here we can see now we have two vectors, VL and VR. So we can find out here direct resultant by just plotting here a parallelogram or just drawing a parallelogram. So it's a diagonal will represent the resultant of these two vectors. Now we are talking here for the resultant EMF induces and alternating current. So alternating current direction is this one, and this is now resultant EMF direction. So you will see the phase difference between these two is pi, and this is less than pi by 2, not equal. So here for the first case where we have seen this option should be correct now according to our question. Now let's see for the second one. For LC circuit, if you will draw the phasor diagram now, as this is suppose the direction of current in the circuitry, then you know in inductor just now we have discussed the current potential is leading the current by pi by 2. So if this is now suppose the direction of potential and this phase difference is now pi by 2 between current and potential individual. For capacitor circuit, we know that current is leading the potential by pi by 2 phase. So here the potential will be pi by 2 lagging than the current. So this is the phasor diagram for LC circuit. Now you will see this VL and VC both are just in opposite direction. So we can find out now their resultant. So if you will find out the resultant, so this resultant can be denoted by VL difference of VC. Whatever the factor is greater, you can write. Suppose VC is greater than the final vector will be this side. If VL is greater than final vector will be this side. So for example, suppose I have taken VL is greater than VC. So that time this vector will be resultant vector. You can see now the resultant vector that is denoted by E. E and I both are again in pi by 2 phase. So according to our question, they have pi by 2 phase. So they can be the circuit for which we can obtain pi by 2 phase between current and potential. Now for the third one, for L circuit, just now we have discussed the in L potential is leading the current by pi by 2 phase. Obviously in this circuit it is possible. And in C circuit you will see obviously potential is lagging behind the current by pi by 2. Obviously there are also phase differences pi by 2. So our first option is correct for this question. That can be easily, you can easily understand it by making just or drawing phasor diagrams. Now let's see the next question. Next question here, this is the inductive reactance of an inductor coil of 1 by pi Henry at 50 Hertz is. So this is the numerical problem we have. So as inductive reactance, you know this is pi L and it is given as omega L. So this has, we have to calculate its value. Omega can be written as 2 pi F into now L. Now values are given, you can write as it is here pi. F is given 50 Hertz. L is given in our question 1 by pi Henry. Pi will be cancelled out and we will have 100. This is now our inductive reactance, as it is reactance, it has resistive property, so its unit will be ohm here. Now let's see the next one. Next question is the current through an inductor of 1 Henry is given by I is equal to 3t sin t. Now this is given to us. So it is asked that the voltage across the inductor of 1 Henry is. So as now current is given, we have to find out the voltage in the case of inductor through 1 Henry inductance. So we can just find out this one now by using. Now for this question what we can do, we can now use the concept of induced EMF, and induced EMF that is generated in any coil that is given by E is equal to minus L di by dt. So as here the value of I is given in our question, we have to find out what will be the potential induced in the inductor that has value 1 Henry. So if you will write down its value 1, so it will be ddt of now I, and this I has value 3t sin t. Now let's solve this one. So this is now here, so as this is product we are seeing 3, we can take common. Now with the help of product, if you will solve it, this is sin t, then plus of, we will have 3 t cos of t from here, and you can multiply. This will be the value of final value of here the potential that is produced in the circuit, and you can just remove minus sign as it is magnitude, and we are here in our question it is talking for the magnitude or at any time, so we can just write down this one. So students, I think all the questions today that we have discussed now you can understand that one, and that I think that will help you a lot, as these are basics as well as numerical problems. So let's just end our class here for today. Thank you, students.